You've been doing influence all wrong. The moment you stop trying to convince people, something weird happens. They start actually listening. They start believing you. This isn't manipulation, it's psychology. Your brain and theirs are wired to resist force, but they're programmed to trust presence. I'll show you the exact system that turns people away from you when you push, and how to flip it so influence becomes effortless. People try to convince through force. Better arguments, more logic, repetition. But the more pressure, the more resistance. You close off people's minds even when you're right. They feel manipulated, controlled, unsafe. So they defend. They argue back. They dig deeper into their position. You win the argument but lose the person. Every time you push, you teach their nervous system to guard against you. And the worst part? You don't realize you're doing it. You think more evidence will help. More facts will convert them. But facts don't change minds. Safety does. Here's what actually happens. When you try to convince, you trigger fight or flight in the other person. Their nervous system sees force as threat. They defend, not because you're wrong, but because they're scared. Before your conscious mind even processes words, mirror neurons scan for safety signals. Tone, pace, micro-expressions, body language. They're asking, am I safe here? If the answer is no, if they feel pressure, performance, or manipulation, their system shuts down. Their analytical brain goes offline. You could have the perfect argument, but they won't hear it. They're too busy defending. Here's the metaphor that changes everything. People are like nervous animals. The more you chase them, the faster they run. The moment you stop chasing and just be calm, they get curious. When you stop performing and start being present, your nervous system grounds. And grounded people are magnetic because presence is a safety signal. Everything changes when you understand this. Influence stops being a technique. It becomes a natural consequence of how you show up. First pillar, presence. Most people don't listen. They wait to talk. They're already planning their response while you're still speaking. Presence is the opposite. It's the discipline of being fully there. Not performing, not planning, not judging. It starts with something as simple as one conscious breath before you respond. That single moment grounds your entire nervous system. And other people feel it instantly. You become a mirror of calm in a world full of chaos and noise. And calm is contagious. When you breathe, your parasympathetic nervous system activates. You shift from defense mode to connection mode. Your micro-expressions change. Your tone shifts. Your pace slows. And the person across from you mirrors that. They feel the shift before they understand it consciously. Think about the last time someone truly listened to you. Not looked at their phone. Not interrupted. Not waited for their turn. Actually listened. Remember how that felt? Like you mattered. Like you were safe. That's what presence creates. And here's the thing, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to perform active listening techniques. You just have to actually be there. One breath, one moment of genuine attention. That's enough to change everything. In conversation, in meetings, in arguments, before you respond, breathe. Make it a reflex. Your nervous system will thank you. Their nervous system will thank you. Because the moment you ground yourself, you ground the entire interaction. Second pillar, empathy. Not sympathy. Not fixing. Empathy. Empathy is curiosity without agenda. It's the ability to say, tell me more, and actually mean it. To ask what made you think that and wait for the answer without planning your counter-argument. When you listen like that, something shifts. People start revealing what actually drives them. Their fears, their hopes, their real motives. Not the surface-level stuff they tell everyone. The real things. And when someone feels seen at that level, truly understood, not judged, your influence multiplies. Because now you're not an opponent. You're not trying to win. You're an ally. You're trying to understand. Here's what changes. Instead of you waiting for your turn to talk, you're genuinely curious. Instead of preparing a rebuttal, you're asking deeper questions. Instead of assuming why they believe what they believe, you're actually finding out. People can feel the difference. Their nervous system knows if you're faking curiosity or if it's genuine. You can't fake it for long. The nervous system always knows. Real empathy disarms. It makes people relax. It makes them open. Because vulnerability begets vulnerability. When you're genuinely curious with no hidden agenda, people feel safe enough to be real with you. This is how influence actually works. Not by being right, but by making people feel understood. By making them feel like you actually care about their world, not just about winning the argument. Third pillar, reciprocity. Humans are wired for balance. When someone helps us, we naturally want to return the gesture. It's not manipulation. It's how we're built. It's why generosity feels good. It's why giving activates the reward centers in your brain. The most influential people understand this. They give value first. They share insight. They create opportunity. They help with zero expectation of immediate return. And here's what happens. The universe rebalances. The value comes back. Not instantly, but inevitably. Think about the people you trust most. Odds are they gave you something first. Time, attention, help, insight. Not because they had to, but because they chose to. And that choice changed how you see them. This is a long-term game. You can't fake generosity. You can't think I'll give this person value so they owe me. The moment you calculate, you've already failed. People sense the hidden agenda. Their nervous system picks up on it. Real reciprocity is, I'll give you my best thinking, not to get something back, but because this is how I show up in the world. I give. I contribute. I make things better where I can. Do it consistently. Do it for long enough. Watch what happens. Your reputation shifts. Your name becomes synonymous with generosity, with abundance, with someone who makes others better. And people want to be around that. People want to trust that. People want to follow someone like that. This is the long game of influence, and it compounds. Fourth pillar, alignment. True influence isn't about agreement. It's about shared direction. You can disagree on tactics and still be aligned on vision. You can have different beliefs and still walk toward the same horizon. This is what transforms influence from manipulation into collaboration. Here's the difference. If I'm trying to convince you to believe what I believe, we're in conflict. My truth versus your truth. One of us has to be wrong. But if I'm walking towards something and inviting you to walk there too, not forcing you, just inviting, that's alignment. Alignment is saying, here's what I see. Here's where I think this goes. Here's why I care. Do you see it too? And if they don't, you're still cool with it, because your integrity doesn't depend on their agreement. This is the final piece. Because without alignment, everything else falls apart. Presence without shared direction is just good vibes. Empathy without alignment is just emotional intelligence. Reciprocity without alignment is just transactions. But when you combine all four, presence, empathy, reciprocity, and alignment, something profound happens. People stop feeling influenced. They start feeling inspired. They start trusting your intentions, not just your words. They start following you, not because they have to, but because they want to. They start believing in what you believe because they feel the truth in how you show up. This is effortless influence. This is real power. And it only works when you've stopped trying to convince and started being present. Let me tie this together. You came in thinking influence was about being more persuasive, more charismatic, more clever. But it's actually the opposite. It's about being less performative, less pushy, less invested in controlling the outcome. The transformation is this. From trying to convince, you move to creating safety. From performing, you move to being authentic. From pushing, you move to attracting. Here's what happens when you practice PERA. Your presence alone starts carrying weight. People listen before you even speak. Your name becomes synonymous with calm, with clarity, with someone who actually cares. That's not manipulation. That's integrity showing up as influence. And the weird part? It's easier. It's less work. Because you're not fighting against human nature. You're working with it. You're not forcing people's nervous systems to defend. You're inviting their nervous systems to relax. You're not chasing. You're attracting. The paradox is real. When you stop needing people to believe you, they start believing you. When you stop trying to win them over, they start wanting to follow you. When you stop performing, you become powerful. But here's the real insight. This isn't about getting more followers or more power or more influence. It's about showing up as your best self. It's about integrity. It's about being the kind of person people naturally trust, because real influence is a byproduct of authenticity. It's what happens when your actions match your values, when your words match your intentions, when your presence matches your purpose. So here's your challenge. For the next week, practice micro-presence. Before each conversation, take one deep breath. Set aside your agenda for just 10 seconds. Notice what changes in you, in them. Watch how people start leaning in instead of pulling away. That's your nervous system learning the language of real influence. And when you add curiosity, genuine curiosity, that connection deepens. You'll find you don't need to convince anyone. You've already started attracting them. This is how the most influential people in history did it. Not through force, but through presence, through being present, through being real. Start there. Watch what shifts.